I am absolutely sick and tired of the whole of YouTube arguing on what's the best food to sell. What's the best vegetable to sell? What do you farm? Pumpkins, canola. And if you do farm pumpkins, what do you cook with them before you sell? Or you don't cook stuff with them before you sell? Today we're gonna end the argument. We're gonna discuss it. We're gonna come up with a conclusion finally to end this whole YouTube drama, and we're gonna say once and for all, what's the best way to farm pumpkins, to cook pumpkins, to make the most amount of money, and to have the most fun in this game. Let's do it! Alright, so you just harvested your beautiful pumpkin field. Your inventory is full of pumpkins. Another garbage, because in this game your inventory is always filled with garbage. And you're wondering, what do I do? Do I just go to Goofy and sell them just as is? Look at them, potatoes. Wow, these are some giant potatoes. Pumpkins sell for 664 coins. Not bad, but could be better. If we go to this beautiful, this is by the way the coolest cooking thing ever. So I'm always cooking here now. It's such a nice atmosphere in here. The green glow just makes it absolutely beautiful. Now there's a few things we could cook with these pumpkins. First of all, there is basically grilled vegetables. Let's make grilled vegetables with the pumpkin and see what happens. I forgot to cook this one. We cooked the pumpkin, but it looks like it's a cucumber. It's okay. It's okay. So now in my inventory, I have pretty much anything you can cook with pumpkins. Let's take a look. We have a pumpkin soup. It takes a pumpkin. It takes a few other things. I'm going to show you the recipe later. Then we have a pumpkin puff. That's a little bit slightly cheaper than a soup. Then we have a grilled veggie platter. Now these, I have 3 of them. One cooked with 3 pumpkins, one cooked with 4 pumpkins, and one cooked with 5 pumpkins. Obviously, the more expensive it is, the more pumpkins it took. 5 pumpkins you can actually sell for 4,000. Pretty much. And if you remember, each pumpkin is 660, so we're making like 1,000 coins for every of these. But here, we only use 3 pumpkins, so we're making also like 1,000 coins. The point is, I've seen so many videos of people doing complicated math about which recipe gives you more per pumpkin, which recipe gives you more per minute of cooking, and all this stuff. But nobody actually considers the most important thing, in my opinion. What is going to be the least tedious and the most efficient process? And also, nobody, not a single person that I've seen, considered collectibles. So, to answer your question, what do I do with my pumpkins? First of all, let me tell you, pumpkins are the best crops in the game for money. If you want to make as much money as possible, grow pumpkins as much as you can. This is almost 300 pumpkin field, and I'm trying to expand it, but these stupid fires are on my way. It's fine, I can expand it anyway. I will expand it. So, harvesting 300 pumpkins, if you have decent amount of farming villagers, will give you about 600 pumpkins, which would sell for a lot of money. It's gonna sell for 3.6 million just on its own. Okay, I'm just kidding. 360,000. Come on. Did you actually believe me? But you can also cook a bunch of stuff with them. And I think you should cook stuff, but not because it makes more money, but because of collectibles, mostly. Because there's more important things in this game than money. You can make money, like, you're literally gonna try to chase few extra coins per minute, but you are forgetting that there is certain collectibles in here. Memories, as they say, that are only accessible and only unlockable by doing certain activities. So you can unlock some of them by farming. You can unlock some from digging. You can, this is basically gardening. Fishing, oh god. Do I actually have to fish? Oh, that sucks, man. Fishing, I don't enjoy fishing that much in this game. But some of them you can only unlock from cooking. You actually need to cook in this game to unlock some of the collectibles. Wow, removing small night thorns. I don't think I've ever dropped one except the Wally one. What? Watering You can water flowers? You learn something new every day. Wait, seriously? I don't get it. Also, a lot of people are trying to make comparison. Let's for example, take a recipe. I'm going to show you all the recipes I just talked about. First of all, simple one, grilled vegetables. Only one vegetable in there. Fine. Grilled veggie platter, 3 vegetables. Pretty much can be anything, but we are only going to talk pumpkins because people farm pumpkins for a reason. You're going to have a lot of pumpkins. Another thing, pumpkin puff. Gonna require some cheese and some eggs. Pumpkin soup. It's gonna require milk, ginger, and another vegetable. So basically 2 pumpkins. So ginger is not replenishable. You have to go and actually farm it because it's a spice. So in my opinion, pumpkin soup loses to pretty much any other recipe in here because you cannot just mass produce it. You actually limit it by the amount of ginger that you have. Another option that you could cook with a pumpkin is going to be a vegetable soup. You could use 2 pumpkins in here too. I actually have never used this recipe for a pumpkin. Let's just cook all of them to compare. I'm going to make this one too. Beautiful vegetable soup. You can make veggie pie, veggie casserole, veggie pasta, pretty much anything that has a veggie in it. But the thing is, some things you actually will have to farm because you can't buy them. For example, spices. Spices you need to farm. Tomatoes and grains you actually can grow, but that will require you to harvest more fields than just pumpkins. We want only harvest pumpkins. The requirement for the recipe is pumpkin and something that we can buy. So grilled vegetables only adds 130 coins per pumpkin. And it takes a whole coal and a whole cooking cycle. So this is out. I'm gonna eat it. Not good. Do not cook that. Vegetable soup uses 2 pumpkins and adds actually about 660 about. Now I'm gonna explain to you why I do not get like perfect math, because I'm gonna explain to you in a second. Vegetable soup requires 2 pumpkins, about 500. I do not recommend this one. Now we have grilled veggie platters with all of the like 3 pumpkins, 4 pumpkins, and 5 pumpkins. Okay, this one sells for a lot and it seems like a good option, but I'm gonna tell you why it's not. Let's take a look at pumpkin puffs. Decent contender, pretty good. You only use 1 pumpkin and you use 2 ingredients that cost about 400 each, so you're making about 400, 500 pure profit on this one. And then there is pumpkin soup. This one, again, we're gonna discard because of that ginger thing, so we're gonna eat it as well. Now let's talk about the most important part, in my opinion. We decided that we need to cook to get the collectibles, but there is such a feature in this game that's called autofill, which in my opinion saves insane amount of time while cooking. If you take a look at any recipe that doesn't have specific pumpkin in it, which has a vegetable in it, for example, we basically are left with vegetable platter and pumpkin puffs, and we're gonna try to compare which one is better. Grilled veggie platter uses 3 random vegetables. So if you use autofill, it's gonna be absolutely any vegetable that you have in any chest in your village, and it's never pumpkin. I tried it. It feels like it's different vegetable every day. Yesterday was mushrooms. Today it's corn, and I tried to find the logic, which vegetable gets picked, and I couldn't. I couldn't find the logic. It's like, I thought it was the closest one to you in a chest. I thought it was the one that you have the most of. No, it's always the random one. And you could get around this by literally selling every single vegetable you have on the entire island and get only stuck with pumpkins. But I think this is very excessive and it's absolutely not worth it, because sometimes you just need to cook different recipes for quests or for people in restaurants, for favorite gifts. There are so many reasons to cook different recipes in the game, and by selling off all the vegetables, you're shooting yourself in the head. I mean, in the leg. Because you're gonna have to farm them when you need to make the recipe, and it's gonna make it so much more difficult. I harvest Wally's garden all the time, and I keep all the vegetables in a couple of chests, so I have access to every single vegetable in the game, so I can make anything at a moment's notice if I need to. So if you want to make this with pumpkins, what you need to do every time is, for me, it's even on the second page. So I have to, every time I need to make a dish, I have to go on the second page and manually put pumpkins inside, which pretty much doubles the cooking time, if not more. And again, the only way to make sure this is pumpkin is to sell off every single other vegetable that you have. At least I haven't found the way to make it use pumpkins. I've looked at the history. There is nothing you can click in here. It would be nice if they could have just let you repeat your previous recipe that you did, but they don't. If you use pumpkins right now, you put it manually, you do start cooking. You got it from pumpkins, but then you use autofill and you back to corn. In my opinion, this one thing doubles the cooking time. So no matter how much benefits this recipe might have, you're pretty much losing half of the value, at least, because the cooking time is longer and it's much more tedious. And now I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, the winner, the dish that I think you should be making with your pumpkins. And it's a pumpkin puff. Look at this recipe. What makes it so special? First of all, it has 0 random ingredients. So this will always take a pumpkin. It will always take an egg. It will always take a cheese. So I just literally do this. Autofill. Look how fast I can be cooking. Autofill. Cook. Boom. Literally, as soon as the previous dish is over, I can be cooking. This is the most valuable thing. There is nothing, no other recipe with pumpkin that allows you to do this. And this is, in my opinion, why pumpkin puff is absolutely the best possible dish you can make with pumpkin. For money, for collectibles, for anything, and just for your sanity, because you can literally you can watch some other video and you can even use autoclicker. I actually use autoclicker to cook my food most of the time. You just need to program it to click literally with certain interval. You click autofill, start cooking. Autofill, start cooking. If you're using recipes that have random ingredients, you cannot do that. If you want me to make a whole separate video on which autoclicker I use and how to set it up, how to make cooking, even like you go to the bathroom, you come back, you got 50 pumpkin puffs. You sell them, profits, and you didn't even have to click on it whatsoever. So now let's calculate how much money we actually making. So pumpkin puff, and also the thing is, if you could try to just do the same thing with the grilled platter, and every time the ingredients change. Like if, for example, you ran out of corn and one of the corns got substituted with a cabbage or something. First of all, you're getting much lower price for the dish because it matters which ingredients you use. Second of all, it's not gonna stack with any other grilled platter. Look at this. These are all used different recipes, different vegetables inside. So all of them, none of them stack, which is very, very sad because your inventory is gonna fill up very fast if you use all kinds of vegetables for it. So I'm just gonna eat all of this. What a waste, I don't care. And we're gonna be left with a winner. One and only pumpkin puff. Sells for $14.89. Each pumpkin. But again, you don't just count profit from a pumpkin price. You should count profit from a pumpkin seed. But also, you could have just sold your pumpkins and made the souffle. So let's actually find out what makes more money. Selling pumpkins and then just making souffles, or making pumpkin puffs. So pure profit from every pumpkin puff. Let me whip out my mighty calculator. 429 coins. 429 coins you're making extra from every pumpkin. If you could, okay, minus 5 for coal. 424 coins. Now, how much profit do you make from every souffle? Let's take a look. 410 exactly. You make from each souffle. So the difference is not that big. So basically that means that making souffle for profits is pretty much identical to making pumpkin puffs. And like for example, if you just put all your profits into ingredients and just cook souffle all day long, the benefit of doing pumpkin puffs is that you're actually farming and cooking, which means you're unlocking more collectibles, and it's just more better on your mind. You're just gonna be more sane because it's just farming. It's pretty nice, especially if you're using the glitch that I'm gonna show you very soon, or I already showed it. I'm not sure if I probably already uploaded the video how you can exploit the villagers to collect extra pumpkins much easier. It's probably gonna get patched soon, but anyway, it's a pretty fun trick. So the clear winner is a pumpkin puff for money. In my opinion, absolutely the best. Makes it the most straightforward and easiest process to cook it. Makes decent amount of money. And even if you count, like, if you count money per pumpkin, it's still pumpkin puff. It makes more money per pumpkin. But you might make slightly more money per minute of cooking. But then, again, it's going to be much more tedious to put manually all those pumpkins in the cauldron. In my opinion, it's much... I would rather lose a couple coins per dish, but make the cooking process as easy as possible. That's just my opinion. Make pumpkin puffs, sell them, make your millions. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully I crushed all the questions about cooking. And you will never doubt again. Farm pumpkins, make pumpkin puffs, sell. Money! Invest your profits into more eggs and milk to make more pumpkin puffs. And cheese, I mean, eggs and cheese. And repeat it until you're a gazillionaire, millionaire, billionaire. That's it, easy peasy. Subscribe for more content. Hopefully that was helpful. We are at 2,300 subs. That's amazing. Let's get 2,500 as soon as possible. Maybe in a couple of days. That would be awesome. Thank you for watching and take care.